Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim, top of the morning to you. It is 6:35. How about we go make some coffee? But first, we got to make that bed. That's the first accomplishment of the day. I'm all ready to go. Got my go-to-hell cowboy boots on this morning. Yeah, it's 43 degrees out there. How you doing, 111,000? Well, let's get this here studio equipment. Bring it on in here. You know, let me look outside. It's still dark out there. What is that? Oh, I could not tell what that was. Oh, it's breezy out here and cold. Yes, it is. So I took everything in last night, put it in my shed, as you can see. All dry up out here. No more. A little haze in the sky. It's going to burn off and be 61 degrees today. I am back, folks. Man, this is great. Got to take that trash out. Got a couple things to wash here. Let me get a pot of coffee going. All right. These few dishes here are kind of embarrassing. But I got to get some coffee going before I do anything. Let's go back up here to the top. Get these filters out. The only way you can get a single one is to blow it. Oh, I got a clean cup here. There we go. I got more than one coffee cup. One thing I got. Plenty of coffee cups. One thing I got too is plenty of coffee. Wow. This is the High House. I've got the Highlander grog mixed in here with the Maxwell House. Let's do 1, 2, 3. And 1 to grow on. And we'll put in 2 bottles of water. I can't wait to get the coffee made. How you guys doing this morning? Thanks for the comments. I was looking at them this morning and last night. I went to bed at the latest I ever went to bed in my life. Went to bed at crush it. I went to bed at like 11:30, man. It was late. All right. I know there's a bottle of water in here with my name on it. You ain't gonna believe it. They don't have eggs and they don't have heavy whipping cream at the toilet I went to. I'm gonna stop going there. A place called Winn-Dixie. Crush it. If you're watching me, you know who you are that told me to do that. So, I listen, folks. Oh, the light is on, the coffee is in, the water is in. Work. Now, let me see what we have for cream. You're gonna be mad at me, Jim Bauer. You're gonna be mad at me, some of the others. They do not have any heavy whipping cream. I didn't want to go with straight milk. I got the old original coffee creamer, half and half. I didn't know it was supposed to kill me. But I'm not drinking cowboy coffee. I already eschewed the sugar a long time ago and I never went back. I got rid of those sweet hazelnut creamers and that kind of stuff. Oh. Oh yeah, can't wait. Just can't wait for a cup of coffee. Knock out those dishes maybe while we're waiting. And I got trash to take out. My fireplace is going, but no heat because I'm all dressed up in all these clothes. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to come out of them later and put on some shorts because it's going to be 61 and sunny. And I think that the high temperatures might return sooner than they're predicting because you can't keep that heater down here in Florida. Be time to think about playing some golf. And also, besides my steps, I'm thinking about starting to run a little bit. Just a walk run, you know. I got to lose this tummy. I got It will go away, and I know how to make it go away. You don't have to tell me, but it's my own doing. I made my own bed. I'm gonna lay in it. You know, you eat, you get fat. You eat candy, cakes, and pies, or carbohydrates, and too much of it, and more than you expel, you're gonna add pounds, right? What a beautiful bed. I slept so good last night. That's the only reason I'm up this late, is because I went to bed late. And let's remember each morning to pray for our president, that he is safe, because you know, those evil SOBs out there have got targets all over him for what he's trying to do to make America great again, to bring in the golden age. I mean, even other countries. So this man, I hope they protect him like nobody's business. So anyway, let me get a cup of coffee here and sit down, and I'll be right back. Oh, I thought I'd never say it. I turned the fireplace off. I'm thinking, what's that sound? I got the furnace on. Woo! That furnace will run you out of here. So here we go, baby. Some High House. You guys ready? Here it is. I don't have my mic on, so I won't have to annoy you with my slurping. I'll bring you in here nice and close, though. First sip of the morning. You know how that first sip goes, right? It's so good. Who loves coffee? Wow. Folks, that's the best cup of coffee I've ever drank in my life. Oh, it's slurpable, baby. That is good coffee. With half and half. I'll use the heavy whipping cream when I find it again. What's with all the eggs and the heavy whipping cream and everything out? I'm sorry. That's just so good. So, now I have to open the dang door in here. Woo! Got 2 shirts on, pair of pants, boots, long socks. I will open the door. Waste my heat. You got to be tough. I see the sky getting light. It is, I think it's sunrise is right after 7. We'll take us a ride, go get us another coffee, and get out and about. What I need to do this morning is, hang on, is I need to put my phone holder, my iOtti, here's my eye drops, I gotta put those in too, haven't done that yet. I gotta put my iOtti on the windshield of the CC Rider, hold it up there so you guys can see what we're driving to and talking to me and stuff. I'm telling you, I had that car set up for delivery. It came out of PDI, pre-delivery inspection. Whew. You know, it's a lot of work putting clothes on. I mean, I feel so constricted. For years, you wear shorts and flip-flops with a t-shirt or a polo. And while I try to dress smart, you know, and be, you know, dress nice, you don't require very heavy or many articles of clothing here in Florida. In fact, you won't want to wear them. You'll come out of them because it is hot. And that furnace there got me remembering how hot it is, and I got all these clothes on. Well, what is today? Is today Friday? Is it? The weekend, Friday again, the 3rd time this week. Man, it's going to be nice and sunny. I'd like to go somewhere. I want to go shoot that gun, that's for sure. I'm definitely going to do that. I bought 200 rounds of ammo. I got a coupon for Academy Sports. They email me. They don't give it to you when you're making the purchase, but after you buy stuff, then they're like, hey, come on back. Here's a coupon for you. Kind of like those casinos do. You know, you win a little bit of money, you go drop a little bit of money in the slot machines or anything else. And they have a record of that because you get what's called a player's club. It's a little credit card that you get, and it gives you rewards, you know, and you every time you go use a slot machine or play anything, you give them your player's card, or you stick it in this slot, and their computers tell them, hey, this person sat here for 2 hours, lost a lot of money. Let's give them a free room. Why? Not because of condolences. So you'll come back and sit there for another 2 hours or 4 hours. Since you got a free room, stay up all night and give them all your money. You know, I do miss the atmosphere. I'm not drawn. I have done it, and I'm not tempted by it. I did it because I chose, you know, I got a little disposable money here. I'll join and, you know, try, and hopefully I'll own this place. But of course, I just gave them my money. But I do love the atmosphere. Not love it, but I like it. The atmosphere of a casino. I mean, a nice casino. Not some, like where I stay with a camper out there in Laughlin, the Tropicana. You know, they blew up and tore down the one in Vegas. It was very old. And so is the one in Laughlin. It's really old. It smells inside, cigarettes and everything else. And you go to the Aquarius and the Riverside. They're not too bad. Very nice in there. But they have a nice look. Now, when you go to Vegas, you go way up, not 1 or 2 notches. You go all the way to the top. Those casinos are pristine on the main strip and all those big hotels. And they're huge. And it's just fun walking around and looking at all the high rollers just throwing their money away. And you hear the music of the slot machines. They don't go ding, ding, ding anymore and put out coins like they used to. They just hum, you know. Or they do make some sounds. These video type ones, they do have some sounds that sound like, hey, somebody hit. Well, just walking around and everything is pretty cool. It really is. I like it. I love how the West looks too when you're driving around, and free of charge, you get to look at these beautiful mountains. And when I lived in Atlanta, there were mountains in the Smokies. It just looked like a chia. You know, they're covered with trees. I mean, you can't see anything but an outline of a mountain and tall trees, literally a foot apart. Just just millions of trees. And it's beautiful. I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying that the West is what I prefer. Open, vast spaces that you can see forever. And you can see the bald landscape. While there are some mountains with trees out west, a lot of the desert west, though, because of the lack of water and the heat, you don't see any greenery. It's just brown rock, cactus, and when it's not 120 degrees, it's a beautiful thing to me to see it. I really love it. And some of them are like really jagged, you know, they're like not smooth mountains. Some are. There's so many different styles. Like I used to show you guys when I traveled. You go around the corner and the mountains and the whole landscape changes. It's like watching a video that was edited. Boom, boom, boom. You don't blink because it's going to be a different scenery right around the corner. If you've ever traveled and you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, go travel and see it because it's really amazing. You know, the old Super Crasher here, she's got Dexter axles and Goodyear Endurance tires. And they're far from being worn down. And they are properly inflated. They will be. And those axles are bad to the bone. And that Super Crusher out there, that Super Duty brand new Godzilla V8 motor that can pull 14,000 pounds. I'm sitting here with 6,500. As Johnny Vegas says, let's get real. Let's hook up. That's what he's always telling me. Let's go, buddy. Let's get out west. Let's go. So, you know I'm going to. You know I'm going to. You know I'm going to be at the Love's truck stop again. I'm going to be at rest areas. We're going to repeat it. Just like it gets repeated in my mind. And when I pull in, I go, I stayed here. I remember this spot. I remember driving through here. I know where I'm at. I've done it so many times. You're going to say, I know that. I know that Love's truck stop. I know that, area that he's at. We're going to see the big Roadrunner bird again. That was a pretty cool spot. Pretty nice view there. And that 10, that is the only route if you're going to go west. I'm going to have to maybe go north, though, and and see subscribers and friends of mine in other areas. I'm not sitting here saying it's etched in stone that I will go up to Jacksonville area, or it's not really Jacksonville, but wherever 75 connects to 10, and I'll get on the 10, and I'll turn left, and I'll go the same spot. I may just keep on going. I may go over to Jacksonville, like I just said, and get on 95 and go to Massachusetts. I may go to upstate New York. I don't know. I doubt it. Because my entire life I've had. Now I know I got subscribers in West Virginia and Kentucky and all over, actually, all over. And of course up there in those snow countries, Wisconsin, Michigan. I read your comments recently. Some very good subscribers of mine are up there dealing with that snow, and you live in those north states. I did drive on my Harley one time from Atlanta to Sturgis, and I went up all the way into Omaha and crossed Nebraska from one end to the other. That was like crossing Texas. If you know the state of Nebraska, that's a long drive. It's kind of crossing like the panhandle of Florida. The panhandle is as long as Florida is north to south. So some of these states, are long to go through. And I never seen more corn in my life. And I went out to South Dakota. And then I'll never forget, this is where I need to go. Now I'm back on the rails. I took a trip on my Harley to Yellowstone. Let me briefly talk about that, because that's where I need to go. I remember where I was riding on my Harley, and as I got closer, it was the time of year where a lot of people had travel trailers and RVs. That El Monte RV, saw that Rent Me RV. A lot of people rent them, and they take these vacations with their grandchildren or their families, and they go to Yellowstone. Old Faithful. So I get up there and I go to, I think I get on the 25. I go up Colorado, and I get to Cody. And in Cody, Wyoming, and you know how they got that name, in that little town, which was amazing getting there, the scenery, it's coming back to me now. I definitely need to go there again. That's worth repeating. That's Western. So I get to Cody on a Harley Davidson, packed up like the Clampetts on the back, tent, sleeping bag, my little space fan heater, everything that I need, and I was wearing heated gerbings, heated gloves, vest, pants, socks, and I had heated gear, and it plugged right in on a little cord that stuck out of a little pigtail from underneath my seat of my motorcycle, and I could just turn this dial up and just crank the heat up as much as I needed and drive right through the coldest weather they could throw at me. But I couldn't ride on snow and ice. So this is the story. I got up to Cody, and that's another entrance. There's different entrances to go into the Yellowstone National Park. Cody is one of the entrances, and there was a snowstorm that came. And the weather forecast was, for the foreseeable future, the next few days, I couldn't. I think the roads were even closed or something. There was a lot of snow on the roads, and I'm not going to obviously ride a motorcycle on that. So I got a campsite at an RV park where they allowed tents in this one area, but I had to have electric so I could plug in my heater. And I had a little dome tent. You got to remember, I'm on a motorcycle, so everything was minimal. And I had a tarp, one of those blue tarps. I put that right over it for rain and to keep the heat in. And I had, I think, 2 of those space heaters. I have them both. I still have them. And one will cycle off and on, and the other one just keeps running. I love the one that cycles off. I was using it last night in the bedroom. And in Cody, they have this little museum that you can go to. And when you pay the admission, it's good for 3 days. And there's 3 sections. There's a gun section of all the guns that's ever been made in the world, from cowboy guns, Civil War, to, the latest at the time, on display. A museum. Not a gun show, a museum. And then they had a section of Cody, what was his name? Not Wild Bill Hickok. What was Cody's name? What was his first name? That's why they named the town and whatever. But it had a stagecoach, all this Western stuff. Cody was a showman. And this one section of it was a beautiful museum, beautiful inside. And they had, I videoed it. They had bears and wolves and all these stuffed animals in there that were so realistic that you walk around. So you had that one Western section. Come on. Gosh. Every day. They had Indian stuff, all this Western history from the day. What was Cody's name? I know you'll tell me in the comments. And then the third part of the museum, I'm trying to remember. Anyway, it was a place for me to chill out. They had free internet. I was able to check the weather. I had a flip phone in those days. And I was able to stay in the loop, and I'm watching that weather like left and right to get on my route. And also, they had gunfights in the street, Western gunfights, a show. And the one I went to in Bullhead City, whatever that, Oatman, that was a joke. It was fun, but that was a joke compared to the real gunfight they had in Cody, Wyoming, every day. And the stores on the sides of the street were amazing. They had so many nice gift shops and cool stuff to wear, all that warm stuff and everything like that. About anything you could want. And it was a long road. I mean, it was a half a mile on both sides of stuff to see. Maybe you've been to Cody. And as you go down and you're going to go to Yellowstone, you make the turn and you go around, there's a couple places where a guy built a Western town, like a back front, fake, like where they make movies. And I love that. It made me feel like a cowboy. You walk around, you walk down the street, the saloon with the swinging doors. And then there was another place you can go in. It was a kind of a smaller museum thing where you had little figurines and a train set and this stuff to look at. It was very fortuitous that I was kind of hung up there for 3 days to experience. Because usually when I travel, I don't even stop to smell the roses. I just keep moving. So I would go in and I had an air mattress, and I'd lay down at night in my little tent with my heaters going, snug as a bug in a rug. And they started saying, okay, the roads are going to be clear, the ice is melted and everything. And this was the first time I had rode in plenty of cold weather. That's why I bought all that Gerbing heated stuff. This is the first time, though, that I rode the motorcycle, the Harley, in snow, but not in snow. when I got into the entrance of Yellowstone, I paid my fee, and I said, "Yeah, I'm here to hopefully see some moose and stuff." And the lady said, "Oh, you mean like that one right there?" And there was one right next to the where you pay. Huge. I think it was like a horse. And then I saw, I don't know, I'm going to say antelope, whatever they were, herds of them. You've seen on National Geographic, right? Yellowstone is the real deal. The Grand Canyon, they got some live animals too, lots of them. But the Yellowstone is hundreds of miles of unspoiled, nothing built, pure wildlife that, every year, redo their thing, and new young are born, and it's, you see everything there. And it's just majestic. It's amazing. And so I'm riding around, and all this snow is on each side of the road. They call it a snowdrift. And I said, I got to get in it. I've never seen snow. I got to get in that. And so I got off the Harley. I pulled over, and I go walk around on it. I've got these chaps on and these bib-like things that are heated, and boots and stuff. And I'm walking on it, and I walk up a little higher. And you know what a snowdrift is, right? That thing is deep. So this is what was very scary. I came close. I kind of go up a little bit, and I stepped on it, and my leg went completely down all the way to my pelvic. And I lost my balance a little bit, and the snow was like compact because it was trying to melt, and then it froze again overnight. So it was kind of like cement. And when I fell back a little bit, I lost my balance. I felt I could have broke my femur. I could have broke my leg. There was no fluffy snow that I could just fall back, like that kind of snow. And I said, "Oh, let me get out of here, Lord, please." And I got off of that, and I never stepped back on it again. It was lucky. I got back on the Harley, and I'm riding, and there's this big lake up there. I forgot what it's called. It's just amazing. It's a huge, huge lake. As soon as you come in out of Cody, you're seeing this lake. I forget the name of it. And the reflection and the sun and the snow and the snow-capped mountains. It's an awe moment. And you drive around, you just keep going and going and going. And I get to that Old Faithful, and naturally, they have a gift shop to go in to spend some money. And it only goes off about every hour and a half, every hour and a quarter, something like that. And obviously I get there when it just went off. So I had this long wait. And I did buy something in I bought a little badge, a little police star badge, sheriff. And I hung it on the side of my Harley on my saddlebags in the back. They're hard saddlebags, but I had this water bottle pouches, black leather pouches, and I just stuck it on there. And, it looked like a police, it was a sheriff badge. It was a star. It wasn't really police looking, but kinda. And I put that on there. It fit really well. I liked it. And then I saw Old Faithful. And if you've ever been there, there's a long platform that you walk out, a wooden one. And there's all these other cauldrons that are bubbling. And they're all around Yellowstone, too, not just Old Faithful. You'll see them. And I sat there. You got these little bleachers you can sit or stand at the railing. And then there it goes, right on time every day, every hour and a half, whatever it is. And I saw it. And I'm like, well, I seen Old Faithful. Check that off the bucket list. You see how I'm left-handed? My backwards checks. And then I kept on going. And then I got to the Tetons. I saw the Tetons. And there's people parked on the side of the road with easels, and they're painting and looking at the Tetons and painting them. And then I got to Jackson, Wyoming. Jackson Hole? Supposedly that is a place that is blessed with powder snow. And remember, this is the coming into summer, the spring, and so there's not going to be any more. I'm trying to get out of it. And I got to Jackson, saw that. That would be great to have the Super Crusher pull this rig here through that same route and take that nice trip. That would be cool. Maybe I'll do that. And then I ended up driving my way down to Provo, Utah. And for some reason, I remember telling my sister at the time, I called her, I said, I want to live here. I feel like this place, I feel it. And I've always wanted to return there. It's a college town, but there's this big lake that you drive around, and I'm on the Harley. The Harley was awesome to travel like that. And I'm cruising the perimeter road around this lake that went forever. And you got water over here and mountains on this side of the road that literally start right on the shoulder and go straight up. The Utah mountains are different than the mountains like in Arizona. They literally, they don't go out and gradually go up. They go straight up. It's hard to describe. So I leave Provo and I get on, what is it, the 15 or something. It takes me into Vegas. And that's where I saw the first 85 mile an hour speed limit. And it warns you about dust storms. So I'm cruising and these cars are just blazing past me. I can't ride that fast. I got all this stuff on the back. I'm like a sail. And then it got to be windy. And that was the worst part of the trip. I do not like riding a motorcycle in wind, especially when you're all packed up like that. You're like carrying a big plywood or something down the road. It was very nerve-wracking. And these cars are just going by me, 90 or 100 miles an hour. And believe it or not, was I on the motorcycle? I crossed the Bonneville Salt Flats. You ever done that? Yeah, I came across Utah on the 80, and I came across from one end of it to the next, where I went into Salt Lake City. And it's such a long, straight road. You can see how these guys can take those jet cars or whatever and go as fast as they're able to go, as long as they want to go. They're not going to run out of runway. And you can see the salt flats right off the road there. It's on the 80, I think. And they have signs about every few miles warning you to pull over and rest, because people they fall asleep. It's too straight. That's why I think that most roads are required or should have a little turn in them to keep you alert. If you just made a road, all these freeways going straight, it would be a lot of accidents because it puts you to sleep. It talks about that. There's signs. It said this many so far this year have died. Don't risk it. Pull over, rest. And they have all these little rest areas where you'll see people just, and I did. I saw an accident. It was a car that had rolled countless times, and I'm sure it was a terrible ending for them. Anyway, that's my story. It's time for more coffee. It's time to get out there. It's still cold. I ain't coming out of these clothes. And see what's going on. I see it's still a white, gray sky, but it is dry. One more step. Maybe that'll burn off. One more step to getting back to good old South Florida, baby. I know we're not in South Florida, but it is South Florida. That's the way I roll. That's what I say. Because I'm not in Jacksonville, baby. I'm crushing it.